ॐ विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिर्वोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्रचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ न तत्र चक्षुर्गच्छति न वाग्गच्छति नो मनः न विद्मः न विजानीमः यथैतदनुशिष्यात् अन्यदेव तद्विदितात् अथो अविदितात् अधी इति शुश्रुमपूर्वेषाम् येनस्तद्व्याचचक्षिरे। So, iti shushruma purvesham yenastad vyachachakshire. So we have heard from our teachers, from our predecessors who expounded to this knowledge to us. In which manner they have expounded? Well, anyadeva tad viditat, atho viditat adi. The self is something different from the effect, and the self is something distinct from the cause. So it is neither a cause, it is neither a effect. It sustains both, cause and effect. That is, so it is, then why are you calling it as a cause? You are calling Brahman or self as a Jagat Karanam all the time. And now you are saying it is not a cause? Abhi bola, abhi phok. So this is how it is. People say that, in Gujarati they say like, abhi you said something and now you are changing again. So this is how it is. Actually, it is not a cause. When, because of, it appears as a cause, but not a cause. That's the thing. Rope is basically not a cause, but appears as a cause. That's how it is. You cannot tell any other cause other than rope for the snake. What is the cause of the snake? Rope. But if you look at the rope, there is no cause. So it is really not a cause. And so basically, I have told you that particular kind of a material cause, which is called Vivarta Upadana Karanam. So like you see, the rope basically appears in many forms. In a streak of water, rope is appeared as a streak of water. Rope is appeared as a some kind of a crack in the earth. Rope is appeared as a garland. Rope appears as a even snake. Many. Rope appears as a piece of cable. That's what happened to me. A rope was lying and I thought it is a piece of cable. It happened to me. Really, in Ahmedabad, once while I was going to a class in the evening, it appeared for me like that. I thought it is a piece of cable, but it was a rope. So basically anything, when varieties of the forms definitely as though emerge from the rope. As though. Really rope has not converted to snake, rope has not converted himself to a piece of cable or anything. Rope appears as all these forms as well as names. So names, of course, we give. Anyway, so this is rope without really being transforming into a fact, appears as a cause, which is unlike the cause. Even for the yogurt, you have a cause called milk, but their milk definitely transforms into curd. So that is a different kind of a material cause. Milk is a material cause for yogurt, but definitely it's a different type of material cause. Whereas a rope is also a material cause for snake, etc. But that is a different type of a cause. It does not get transformed. Rope does not transform into snake. Otherwise, nobody will keep a rope in the home. And therefore, so this is how we should understand. That is how the Brahman appears in various names and forms. That's all. That is how right now it is available as Brahman. Like a rope is available for you to get a knowledge of a rope should be available because it has not transformed into snake, etc. Well, and therefore same way Brahman is definitely is a material cause or Jagat Karanam for varieties of the names and forms, but Brahman appears as the cause. It is really not the cause. Brahman has not transformed into the world. A conscious being cannot transform into an inert thing. Inert thing, creates inert thing. And therefore Maya alone can create all these kind of things. Maya can do, that is Parinami Upadan Karan. We have seen that, of course, in Panchadashi it will come again. And so Maya is basically a Parinami Upadan Karan. So the forms keep on changing. You please see that. So Parinami Upadan Karan means something is changing, Swamiji. I see that something is created. Yeah. If one form transforms into another form, then it transforms into third form. It transforms into fourth form. The form keeps on changing. Basically, the content of the form does not undergo a change. And therefore, that is how, you just see like a clay is, right? And then pot is. And then if suppose a pot breaks, then you can say the pieces of the pot are, or that is a piece of the pot is. Then all this atom is, molecule is, everything. So is remains same. Any given name and form will change, but the is, the very existence of the form, that isness remains as it is. That shows that isness belongs to, of course, Brahman or Atma. And because Atma is existence, Sat, and therefore Atma provides, or Brahman provides existence to all. And that remains as it is. So without undergoing change, that existence appears in various forms. Could you follow now? And therefore, it is Vivarta Upadana Karan. And therefore, really, Brahman or Atma is not a cause. And it is not an effect. Effect will always come and go, which is temporary, which is limited. Which comes and goes is always limited. We should remember that thing. It limited in time, limited in place, and limited object-wise also. And therefore, basically, name and form, of course, they appear and go. But the existence, which lends existence to this name and form, that Atma basically is without, it doesn't undergo any change. It does not come, it does not go. It's all pervading. Where will it go? And where will it come? From where it will come? And therefore, it is all the time there. And therefore, yesterday I gave you the definition of Atma as always. Always is equal to Atma. What is always is Atma. What is Nityam? Which was in the past, which is in the future, which is in the present, which will be in the future, of course. That is Atma. And therefore, so Atma is not an effect. The Shrotrasya, Shrotram, etc. It has been told as a subject, right? And the subject we have seen also, it's a consciousness, it possesses 5 features, which is just opposed to the 5 features of the inert world. This body has 5 features, and and body has 5 features. That's how we call it as an inert, because body is made up of elements. Body is all the time changing, and then body has certain attributes, and body is temporary, comes and goes. Therefore, it is inert. Which possesses these 5 features is inert. But then body is sentient. Body is not inert. Okay, then something else will provide the consciousness or sentiency to the body. And that is what Shrotrasya Shrotram, etc. That is the subject consciousness, well, provides the existence and the sentiency to the body. And that is how the inner thing appears conscious. So the senses are conscious, the prana is conscious, etc. All they are conscious because pranasya pranaha, shrotrasya shrotram, manaso manaha, chakshusha chakshuhu, etc. The ear of the ear is this consciousness which lend consciousness to the ears and eyes and prana and mind, and that is how they are all functioning like a conscious entities. So body is conscious not on account of its nature. It is a inert by nature, but the Atma or the subject, where it is, and of course one more thing I have told you about inert thing is, any inert thing is object of knowledge, right? And therefore basically, conscious being must be the subject then. Because the consciousness and inert thing, they are opposed. They are totally opposed in nature. And therefore, whatever the features you take into account for considering to classify as an inert, conscious being must have, or consciousness must have the opposite features. And therefore, I am never be an object of knowledge. I am subject, basically, etc., etc. And therefore, so Shrotrasya Shrotram is nothing but I, the consciousness. Manaso Manaha is nothing but the I. Chakshusha Chakshu, eye of the eyes, the I, that capital I. And Pranasya Prana, breath of the breath is I. Mind of the mind is I. I am the one who makes the mind conscious. I am the one who lends existence to the mind. I am the one because of which the mind functions in its own sphere. And the ear functions in its own sphere. I am the one in presence of which all these are prompted and do their own activity. So Shrotrasya Shrotram, etc. This is very important. I am repeating because in the next mantra it will directly Mahavakya is shown. Tadeva Brahmatvam Viddhi. That Shrotrasya Shrotram, etc. The ear of the ear, that consciousness is Brahman. Is immediately they are going to tell now. In the consequent 6 mantras, they are all Mahavakyas. Anyway, so this is what we have learnt. Teacher says, while answering to the question of a Shishya, is iti shushruma purvesham acharyanam vayam shushrumah. So we have heard like this from our own teachers. Yenastad vyacha chakshire ye acharyaha. Bhashakara says, ye acharyaha nah asmabhyam ब्रह्म व्याच चक्षिरे व्याख्यातवन्तः विस्पष्टं कथितवन्तः तेषाम् इत्यर्थः. So ये आचार्याः, those acharyas, नः अस्मभ्यं, those teacher, व्याख्यातवन्तः, व्याच चक्षिरे means V plus A plus चक्ष धातु is there. चक्ष कथने, to tell, and विस्पष्टं कथनम. So Bhashakara himself tells this, विस्पष्टं कथितवन्तः व्याच चक्षिरे व्याख्यातवन्तः. So those teachers, ये आचार्याः, व्याच चक्षिरे means those teachers who taught us. Naha means asmabhyam means to us, and clearly regarding this Brahman. So those acharyas who have taught this Brahman very clearly to us. In which manner? In this manner. Shrotrasya Shrotram, etc., etc. And also here, Anya Deva Tad Viditat, Atho Aviditat Adhi. This Brahman is something, or Atma is something, or consciousness is something. Well, I am telling you the subject, the consciousness, which is the ear of the ear, eye of the eye, mind of the mind, is nothing but this. It is not a cause, it is not a effect. It provides an existence and sentiency to the both, or it reveals both. Atma is the one which reveals everything. Then who reveals Atma? I reveal the Atma. Self-revealing. I reveals myself. I exist on my own. My revelation or my existence is revealed by myself. Other than me, everything in the creation, the existence is revealed by the means of knowledge and ultimately by consciousness. Right? Consciousness, without consciousness, nothing is revealed. Anything is or anything is not. Absence or presence, everything is revealed by consciousness. And then consciousness is revealed by whom? Consciousness is revealed by consciousness. I am self-revealing, self-shining. I am consciousness, and therefore consciousness reveals its existence on its own. Self-existent, self-revealing, I am the subject, which is told in the Shastra as a Brahman. So, Tattvamasi, etc. will come now. So this is how we have to understand. Okay, now let's go to the next mantra. Yad vacha anabhyuditam yena vagabhyudyate tadeva brahmatvam viddhi nedam yadidam upasate. So, in the mantra, in the second mantra number 2, of course, while answering the question of a Shishya, the teacher said, Vachoha vacham, right? Shrotrasya shrotram, manaso manaha. Student asked a question regarding who prompts the activity of the mind, who prompts the activity of the ear, eyes, because they have a specific activity, well-directed activity. Who is the director? Etc. So they are inert things, but they are doing an intelligent function. They are as though prompted by intelligent being. What is that intelligence? And then, teacher says the consciousness, the subject, is that intelligence, which provides the existence and, which reveals everything and which as though prompts all the limbs for its specific activities. Now that Vachoha Vacham has been told right there. So the speech of the speech. So now it has been revealed. Vachoha Vacham is the I. The speech of the speech is the I, the subject. I is the one that consciousness, of course, we'll see that what is meant by revelation of a speech, etc. We'll see little elaborately here. So, but Vachoha Vacham, etc. has been now expounded further by the teacher in this. So, yad vacha anabhyuditam, yad vacha, that vacha means by speech, anabhyuditam, that which is not revealed by the speech, yena vak abhyudyate, but by which the speech is revealed, tadeva brahmatvam viddhi, that alone is this Brahman. Vachoha vacham means that particular one, that consciousness is the Brahman, etc. here has been told. So, tvam viddhi, may you know this. May you know that Vachoha vacham is Brahman. That's what it means. May you know that Shrotrasya shrotram is Brahman. The ear of the ear is Brahman. The eye of the eye is Brahman. At the very status of the eye, eye is able to see the, various colors and forms because the consciousness which is present there as a subject. Consciousness which is all pervading, present in the eye, and makes the eyes conscious because they are basically inert, made up of elements, and therefore they make the eyes. Consciousness makes the eye and conscious as though, and that is how eyes are able to experience forms and colors, etc. Anyway, so here it has been told, Tvam Brahmatvam Viddhi. So may you know that the speech of the speech is Brahman. So first line, of course, here in this mantra reveals primarily this Pratyagatma, which has been revealed as, the inner self, ear of the ear, etc., etc. And that which is neither known, Anya Devatad Viditad, Atho Viditad Ade, which is neither known, which is neither unknown, and which is the basis of both known and the unknown. And that is the first line, which tells about this the self or the subject, which we call as a Pratyagatma. Pratyagatma means inner self, means what? Basically, it is present in all the limbs in the entire body and make them sentient and lends existence to all. And that is how ear is a ear because of the me. Eye is a eye because of me. And kidney is a kidney because of me. Everything. Gross body is a gross body because of me. That is how we have to define. Of course, they tell few things. We can tell all the things. Any form is form because of me. A mobile is, I am a mobile of a mobile. Really. Believe me. Mobile of a mobile. And I am a clip of a clip. But it doesn't. Upanishad does not go to that level. But what I am saying is entire name and form, entire creation is there because I am behind everything, providing existence. Without existence, what will be there? If I take away the existence from this, then where is the clip? Where is the clip? So because of me, the clip is the clip is there, and therefore I am clip of the clip, etc. And because of me, it gets revealed. No, Swamiji, eyes revealed you, but behind eyes I am there, sir, and therefore I am eye of the eye. I am eye of the eye. Without consciousness, nothing is revealed. This cannot reveal because this is made up of the subtle elements, and they are all inert. We have seen that, right? All the 5 features. The subtle body is inert, the gross body is inert, mind is inert, everything is inert. Sense organs are inert, organ of actions are inert, prana is inert, everything is inert. And then still they function as a conscious being. And therefore, basically, I am the one who provides an existence, who reveals them. And therefore, I am the eye of the eye, ear of the ear, etc., etc. Anyway, so Pratyagatma means this. We call Pratyagatma means inner self, means don't think in the body, the dermis and epidermis and this dermis and ultimately you go into somewhere in the heart somewhere, this Pratyagatma is sitting. No. Pratyagatma means which is behind everything, in the body, which is behind all the limbs in the body. So, the first line reveals Pratyagatma. Yad vacha anabhyuditam yena vagabhyudate. So may you know that alone to be Brahman, which is not revealed by the speech, but by which the speech is revealed. Words are revealed. Anyway, and then in second line, the inner self, of course, is told as a Brahman. Tadeva Brahma. That vachoha vacham, the speech of the speech, which is the subject and the consciousness, of course, is pointed out as a Brahman by saying Tadeva Brahma Tvam Viddhi. Viddhi means may you know. Tvam means you. Tvam Viddhi means may you know. May you know what? That as Brahman. What that? That Shrotrasya Shrotra Manaso Mana, etc. is Brahman. May you know that. So you are Brahman. That's all it is. May you know that subject which is behind all these limbs and prompts them as though, well, that is Brahman. So you are Brahman. That is Mahavakya. That's how Pujya Swamiji used to tell all the time. Don't think there are only 4 Mahavakyas. There are no 4 Mahavakyas. Every Upanishad has Mahavakya and not one. Now you will see all the way up to I think 6 mantras are there, all are Mahavakyas. Yat Shrotrinan Shrunoti, Yena Shrotram Idagam Shrutam, Tadeva Brahmatvam Viddhi, Nedam Yadidam Upasate, Yat Chakshushana Pashyati, Yena Chakshumshi Pashyati, Tadeva Brahmatvam Viddhi, Nedam Yadidam Upasate, Yat Pranenana Praniti. So many are there. May you know that Brahman. May you know that Brahman. Shrotrasya Shrotram is who? I, subject. Oh. So, because Shrotram is the object of knowledge. Then Shrotrasya Shrotram is what? Well, that is me. Oh. So, may you know yourself that which is Shrotrasya Shrotram and that is the subject is Brahman. So, you are Brahman. So, that is Mahavakya. Anyway, so, actually, Tadeva Brahmatvam Viddhi, Tat and Tvam appears in Mahavakya, that is in Chandogya, Tattvamasi. And so, as though, the teacher is telling here, Tadeva Brahmatvam Viddhi, may you understand that alone to be Brahman. That you, that means what? That means that subject, that is you. And what is that subject? Eye of the eye, ear of the ear, Shrotrasya Shrotram, etc. And which is neither known, neither unknown. All these details make the meaning Tat very clear. All these mantras are very important mantras which reveal directly that you are Brahman. Directly. All these details, make the meaning, of Tat very clear. Now we know. Tat means that. That means what we have discussed. What we have discussed is this. We have till today discussed regarding Tat, that is subject, right? And that is Shrotrasya Shrotram, etc. So that consciousness, that subject, which is consciousness behind all these organs which are inert, and I lend the consciousness to all these organs and entire physical body, etc. That consciousness is Brahman. That consciousness which is you is nothing but Brahman. That consciousness which is subject is Brahman. So I am Brahman, you can say. So understand that consciousness alone to be Brahman, which is you, in whose presence, everything takes place. That's how Pujya Swamiji's Nididhyasanam will be always in this form. I am the one in whose presence thinking takes place, eating takes place, walking takes place, talking takes place. I am just presence. I don't go anywhere, I don't come and don't go. I am all pervading consciousness. In presence, everything is prompted and its activities, etc. also take place. And that Brahman means limitless. We will see that meaning of Brahman also. And limitless, which is revealed in the Shastra as a cause of everything. That from which everything has come, that unto which everything resolves, and that by which everything is sustained, that is Brahman. Where it has been told? It has been told in Taittiriya Upanishad in Bhruguvalli, like this. Brahman is told as a Jagat Karanam. So, Yatova imani bhutani jayante, yena jatani jivanti, yat prayanti abhisambhishanti, tad Brahma. That's a definition there in Bhruguvalli. Varuna, while teaching regarding Brahman to Bhrugu, of course, gave this Upadesha. Gave this, that Brahman is Jagat Karanam. Yatova imani bhutani jayante. Yataha, from which everything is everything comes forth. Everything emerges. Everything becomes manifest. Everything is created. Everything is born. Yatova imani bhutani, all these bhutas, all this characharatmakam jagat, entire thing has come from what? That from this Brahman. So Yatova imani bhutani jayante. So Brahman is the creator of everything, and yena jatani jivanti. Jatani, once they are born, jivanti, they are sustained. And all these bhutas are sustained, sentient, insentient, everything is sustained by Brahman. And yat prayanti abhisambhishanti, unto which everything goes back. This is, we should understand, the thing which comes out from anything which is born of a given thing must resolve into that thing alone. If part is born of a clay, it resolves into clay only. That is how it is. The death of the pot also ultimately, the death means here resolve. It resolves into ultimately the clay alone. Therefore, clay is a cause. Anyway, so that has been defined. Means you, the consciousness, you are the Jagat Karanam. You are Jagat Karanam, you pervade everything. Karanam pervades entire karya. Clay pervades the pot. Entire pot, Anyway, we'll discuss in this mantra. We get a chance of this. First Mahavakya, so we'll discuss little at length. Okay, yad vacha anabhyuditam, that which is not revealed by the word. Anabhyuditam means na prakashitam. Bhashyakara says anabhyuditam aprakashitam. So, not objectified by a word. So, Vastu is not revealed as the direct meaning of any word. We have discussed that yesterday. Any word, direct meaning of any word in any language is nothing but a given name and form. Think about it. So, words' direct meaning will be just any name and form. Name and form what, Swamiji? Form, yeah. So, name is a word. Anyway, so any form, it reveals a form. All the words which we tell as a name is nothing but revealing the form. That is the meaning of the word. Meaning of the word is a given form. We call it as a rupam, nama rupam. Nama means a word. Rupam means a corresponding meaning. Anyway, so Brahman cannot be revealed by any word. We have already seen that yesterday. Day before yesterday, also 2-3 days we have seen this thing. So, because Brahman does not have any jati, Brahman does not have any relation with anything. I have no relation with anything. I consider myself as a relative, that's a different thing. But I am not related to anything. I am not kaka, mama, etc. Anything, definitely. All the time, I consider myself as a relative. Swamiji, what can I do? I am a relative of so and so. I have to go to that function and this and that. So Upanishad says, sir, This is a wrong notion. You are not a relative, you are unrelated to everything. Unrelated. So the words in the language always, some of the words reveal relationship, like uncle, this, that, etc. Anyway, so jati, guna, kriya, sambandha and rudi, convention. All this is language, that's all. Some of the words reveal jati, some of the words reveal guna, attributes, qualities. Some of the words reveal kriya, driver and cook and all this we have discussed, right? And some of the words reveal sambandha, relationship. And some of the words are just convention, popular. Popular in the language. New Jersey. A given place is called New Jersey. That's all whole world knows. That's how it is. So this is a Silosberg. Oh, this is how it is. Now this is where it is. This is called convention. Convention is this is how it is popular. Anyway, even the person also, a given name is given, a particular name is given, right, to a particular person. So then it becomes popular. The 6th day after birth, they give the name, Namakarana Samskara. And then once that name is given, then whole family will come to know. And then whole other relatives will come to know. Then slowly in the school everyone comes to know. And that way it becomes more and more. So this is a convention. If given a particular person, particular name. That's all. Particular place, particular name. New York. Well, a particular place. That's how. This is a convention. So these are also words revealing convention. Revealing popular. I mean, they are popular that way. That's all. You don't try to think that it has some kind of a connection, etc. Nothing of that sort. Anyway, so this Atma is not revealed by any words. It is not a direct meaning of any word. And then still I have told you, the self-knowledge is given by words only. If self is not revealed by words, how can you talk about, how can you give a knowledge of the self through the words? And then we said, if you remember, implication by lakshana. Lakshana in a proper context. Creating a context you should understand. Well, the word India just by, India means a country with a particular area. Don't think so. Don't think so. India means country. No, it's not. If I say India has raised an issue in United Nations, now tell me here, do you think that whole area has gone to the United Nations in New York? The whole country has come here? No. A foreign minister of the India has raised the issue, right? And therefore, this is called implication. India means Indian foreign minister. And the second thing, India won over Australia. Oh, when war has taken place? No. Indian cricket team has won has won the match against Australia. So, just India, even though it is all the time one word is used, India. But according to context, you have to take the meaning. India means here Indian cricket team. India won over Australia means Indian cricket team. And India has raised an issue in United Nations. Their Indian foreign minister has raised. India is just an area, right? A given area. It's an inert thing. How can it come here in New York and raise an issue? So you should understand. This is called implication. The direct meaning of the word India is a particular area in the world, which we call as that country. But in the given sentence, you will have to give up the direct meaning and you will have to take a implied meaning. Indian foreign minister, Indian cricket team, etc. connected to a country, of course. I have already told you, any implied meaning is all the time connected to the direct meaning. That is how they define lakshana. Lakshana means shakya sambandhi lakshana, they call like this. Shakya means vachya, the direct meaning. Sambandhi, connected to the direct meaning will be always implication. And so that is how Brahman Atma is understood. I have explained you Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, how we have taken these words as an implication. No direct, Satyam does not reveal Brahman. Satyam reveals the true speech, the truth of so far as the speech is concerned. Every word, every person in this creation, in this world, if you say the truth is the Atma, nobody would understand. Truth means they will understand that you are speaking truth. That's all it is. And Jnanam. Jnanam also, you know that what you acquire during your lifetime from various sources, that you call as a knowledge. Nobody will understand Jnanam means Atma. Who will understand it? Therefore, this is not a popular meaning. It is not a direct meaning. Anantam also, I have told you, it is that Anantam means there is limitless space, etc. Anyway, we have discussed enough. But what I am saying is, here it has come again. Yad vacha anabhyuditam. Well, the Atma is one, or the subject is one, consciousness is one, which is not revealed by any word, means not revealed as a direct meaning of the word. That's how you have to understand. Na prakashitam means not objectified by a word. Yena vakabhyudyate, ulta. It is ulta. Yena vakabhyudyate means by whose presence a word comes to manifest. So we have to take into account various things connected to the word here. So by whose presence? Well, alone a word is a word. A word by whose presence a word is pronounced as a word. By whose presence a word is heard. By whose presence a word is understood. All this we have to take into account. Because so many connections are there with they are connected to the word. Understanding of word is there, pronunciation of word is there, and hearing of the word is there, right? So all these things are there. So we have to take into account everything. All are possible. Understanding of word is possible. Without consciousness, where is understanding of a word? Without consciousness, where is the hearing of the word? Without consciousness, where is pronunciation of a word? Right? And therefore, I am the one in whose presence a word is pronounced. I am the one in whose presence a word is heard. This Puja Swami's Nididhyasana, if you see all the time a hearing of the words, we have also done that contemplations I have given you. And that is a very, very beautiful contemplation in which, the abidance of the mind also takes place. Anyway, so a word is heard, a word is understood, a word is pronounced in my presence. I am the consciousness, who reveal the word. That's how. Revealing the word is this. Yena vagabhyudyate means by whose presence a word comes to manifest. And so all these things you have to consider. So in the presence of this invariable consciousness or pratyagatma, alone a word is heard and meaning is understood, etc. So that is yena vagabhyudyate. Now here vak you can take as to mean organ of speech. That also you can take. So the consciousness, which is not objectified by the organ of speech, but because of which it is able to function. So organ of speech is not able to objectify the consciousness, but because of consciousness, the organ of speech functions as though prompted, do the activity is in a given sphere. And that consciousness is Brahman. Tadeva Brahmatvam Viddhi. That consciousness which you are telling as I, that consciousness is Brahman. That's a very beautiful statement here. So Bhashyakara tells, Yena Brahmana Vivakshite Arthe Sakarana Vagabhyudyate Chaitanya Atma Jyotisha Prakashyate Prayujyate Iti Yena Brahmana, by which Brahman, the consciousness, Vivakshite Arthe Sakarana Vagabhyudyate, the word Sakarana. So the word along with its meaning, Sakarana Arthe Vagabhyudyate means the word along with the meaning is Abhyudyate means is employed, revealed in the desired area of communication. Chaitanya Atma Jyotisha Prakashyate. Abhyudyate means Chaitanya Atma Jyotisha, that is Chaitanya which is Atma Jyoti, which is light of consciousness, etc. Prakashyate means is revealed. Prayujyate, it is employed. Prayujyate means is employed. In which direction? In the desired area of communication. What you want to communicate, you utilize your organ of speech. So, well, organ of speech cannot be employed unless there is a consciousness, right? And therefore, in presence of consciousness, the subject, well, the organ of speech functions. That is called abhyudhyate, means prakashyate, prayujyate, etc. You can tell. So, is employed, is revealed. Prakashyate means is revealed. Prayujyate means is employed in the desired area of communication. Okay, now, so the word Brahman already, now here word Brahman has come, so we will let us understand what is this Brahman. So Brahman is already, arrived at in the language, of course. It's a derived word basically from the root. And the root is Bruhi Dhatu. Bruhi Dhatu is there, Brahma Dhatu also is there, both, either. And so they give a derivation from both the roots, Bruhi Vruddhau or Brahma Vruddhau. So, Brihatvad Brahma they call, or Brahmanat Brahma, Brahmanat Brahma, that either way, because two roots are there, Bruhi or Brahma. And Vruddhau means a growth. So, growth here means in terms of it is bigness. So, that which is big, that which is capable of growing into this Jagat, well, that is called Brahman. Both meaning are applicable here. So, bigness here, of course, is limitless. So, how big it is? How big Brahman is? Now, Puja Swamiji used to tell, if you remember, a big mountain and big mouse. Both, the bigness differs. Word big is there everywhere, but the dimension of bigness differs. In a big mouse, of course, it is big as much as 1 feet, 2 feet, etc. Some of the mouse, some of the mice, right? Plural is mice, I think. Well, anyway, you consider me as a thought nishadiya, whatever, but therefore, so basically, and so bigness is always, when it is adjective, it has a certain dimension. It has a certain dimension. But suppose a big is not an adjective, but a substantive. I won't use with any substantive. Adjective is always used with a substantive. Mouse is a substantive. Big is adjective. Big mouse. Big mountain. Big car, etc., etc. Well, then it is adjective there. Big. But just big. Not as adjective, but as a substantive. Then how big it is? The big. Pujya Swami says the big. The big means there is nothing bigger than that. Limitless. Okay? And therefore, word Brahma is equal to limitless. Bruhi Vruddhau, which is big, and it is the big, means it is limitless. Aparichinnam, unrestricted. So, okay, limitless, but limitless time-wise or this space-wise? Both. How can you say? How can you say? We feel space is limitless, not your Brahman. Your Brahman, huh? Your Brahman. Not your Brahman. The space is limitless is okay. But I don't think Brahman is the big or Brahman is limitless space-wise. Well, we'll have to prove that. Because ultimately Brahman has to prove its bigness. And therefore, on account of the Brahman, we prove its bigness. Okay. Now, see, an object is limited in terms of space and time. So previously it was not, now it is. Means it is time-wise limited. Earlier it was not, now it is. And in future it will not be. Okay, so time-wise it is limited. An object has a certain dimension, definitely. It is a square, circle, whatever it may be. So object has a dimension. And then therefore, definitely it is limited in space also. Anything which has a dimension is limited in space. And therefore, definitely any object time-wise also limited. It has born, it is right now there, it will perish, etc., etc. So time-wise also limited, and it is space-wise also limited. So whereas Brahman is unlike any object that exists in time and space. Space itself is limited. Now we'll drop other things, but we'll compare space and Brahman. What is big? let's have a competition between two. What is the big? Either space is the big or Brahman is the big. What do you think? I'm asking you, what do you think? There is a one line answer, really. Just one line answer. The space falls apart. Really. The space falls apart. What do you think? Space is limitless or Brahman is limitless? Which is bigger between two? What do you think? Nobody answers.
Brahman.
Huh?
Brahman.
Brahman is
Brahman.
how?
Because space is in the Brahman.
Very good. Wow. What a nice answer. So basically Brahman pervades the
Swami,
space.
can we also say that we are conscious of space? So therefore
See, we are conscious of space. You yourself will see it is not so convincing. It is true, very true. That answer is only there. But instead, we will tell another answer. Consciousness pervades the space. Space does not pervade consciousness. That's how it is. Because I am conscious of the space. Space is not conscious of me. And therefore, I pervade the space. Space is in consciousness. Consciousness is not in space. Right? Since your answer is right, that, I am conscious of the space. But before that, you have to tell that consciousness pervades the space and, space does not pervade consciousness. even though even though the space collapses, still consciousness is. And therefore, between space and consciousness, definitely consciousness is the big entity. So that is why space is also a part of the Jagat. So space is, of course, Mithya space is limited in terms of time also. Because when I go to sleep, this space, which is, I am right now, the waking space, let's say, waking state space, with Bhutakasham, it collapses, right? In dream, you create a new space. This space won't be useful. In dream, you create your space, your time, and your Jagat. And in Sushupti, when you go to a deep sleep, the entire space collapses. So space is limited only up to waking state. 14 hours, 15 hours, this space which you call as a limitless is limited in time. In a given day, only 14 hours, 15 hours, whatever number of hours you wake up. You remain awake. So it is Kala Parichinnam. Space is Kala Parichinnam, limited in time-wise limitation. And definitely, so that way it is limited. Whereas Brahman is all the time there. Even in this deep sleep state, I am there. Oh, this is one thing. And so Brahman also, of course, limitless, because spatially also it is limited. It is limitless. So it is not born, it is not gone, it does not grow, it does not decline, etc. And therefore, Brahman is limitless in terms of space also. Brahman is limited in object-wise also. This is discussed in Taittiriya Bhashyam. In Satyam Jnanam Anantam, while discussing Anantam word, Bhashyakara has discussed this. Anantam is limitless. And when limitless comes, you immediately come an idea of a space only. And there Bhashyakara has discussed this very beautifully, that the space is limited object-wise also. Space is limited time-wise, only available in the waking state. Space is limited space-wise. Brahman is which is all the time there, which does not, it is not born, it is not gone, it does not grow, it does not decline. That way, space is born, space is gone, and therefore it is limited spatially also. And space is also limited in terms of object also. Object-wise limitation is also there. How? Because what is space is not Vayu. What is space is not Agni. You consider as one of the elements of the five. Means definitely you can count five only when each one is distinct. Otherwise, how can you count five? And you may say other four Mahabhutas are there in the space, that's okay. But what is Agni is not space. What is Jalam is not space. And therefore, object-wise, space is just a space and not water. Space is just a space and not earth. And therefore, it is one of the Mahabhuta. And therefore, object-wise also it is limited. And so that is how between space and Brahman, basically space is limited. Limitation will be always in terms of, three types of limitation: space-wise limitation, time-wise limitation, object-wise limitation. And of course, Akasha falls into limitations by all the three. And so basically object-wise limitation also is there. And so Brahman sustains, of course, time, space, and it sustains everything that exists in time, space. The space exists. Space is. The very easiness is Brahman. Time is. Easiness is Brahman. That's all. Ease is Brahman. Ease is Brahman. That's all. Ease is Brahman. And the ease is everywhere. Whether you use the word ease or not, that's not a criteria. You may say flower. Flower is. You say tree. Tree is. You say window. Window is. Mobile. Mobile is. The ease is Brahman. Oh, it's all pervading. If you remove the ease from the mobile and keep your mobile. Keep your mobile. Just give me ease. Could you follow? This is how it is. This is how it is. So very existence, that is how we call mithya. Mithya means every name and form does not have their own existence. Their existence is borrowed as so from the Brahman, which is by nature existence. It is therefore it can, because it is by nature it is existence, it can lend existence to everything. By nature it is consciousness and self-revealing. It reveals everything. And that's how entire creation, all forms, all the forms are non-separate from Brahman. They are mithya, Brahman is satyam. Anyway, so it sustains space and time, and that is how they are mithya, and Brahman is limitless. So no object enjoys an independent reality without the reality of Brahman. So every object basically is Brahman. Because if I take away isness from the mobile, and if mobile does not remain, means what? That particular mobile is nothing but one form of what? Brahman. If I take away the isness from the pot, isness belongs to clay, right? When you say pot is, isness belongs to clay. When you say snake is, that isness belongs to rope. That is how it is. And therefore, if you take away the very isness, that is clay, where is pot? Where is pot? Pot is not there. So this is how pot is definitely is clay. Same way, we can say here every object is Brahman, because the very existence of the object is Brahman. So every object is Brahman. This is the meaning of Brahman. And ekam eva advitiyam, right? Because now here we are discussing Chandogya, Tattvamasi. And in Tattvamasi, what happened was, the Brahman as a Jagat Karanam has been introduced by Uddalaka to the Shvetaketu. It started with Sadeva Some Idamagra Asit in the 6th chapter. In the 2nd Khanda, the first mantra is there, 6-1 in Chandogya. Sadeva Some Idamagra Asit Ekameva Dvitiyam. That Sat, entire creation before its manifestation was Sat alone. So means right now also it is Sat. Means it has been told as a Sat. And then Uddalaka said that Sat, which is Jagat Karanam, is Satyam. That is the reality. That provides existence to everything. That reveals everything, entire Jagat. And then Uddalaka says, Sa Atma Tattvamasi Shvetaketo. That Sat, which is Satyam, which provides existence to entire creation, and the creation is Mithya. That Sat is Satyam. That's the only reality that exists all the time. And that Satyam, that Sat is Atma, that And the Atma means, then I think Shvetaketu must be doing like this. Because Atma is another, a third, it's a third person. So then Uddalaka says, Tattvamasi, that Atma which is Satyam is you, that is you, Tattvamasi, etc. So that Sat was revealed as a Ekam Eva Advitiyam, Sadeva Somme Idamagra Asit, Ekam Eva Advitiyam. And therefore, so this Brahman, of course, it has been told here, Shrotrasya Shrotram, Manaso Manaha, etc., etc. The ear of the ear, the mind of the mind, etc. is the subject, the consciousness. And that consciousness, which is you, is Brahman. But that Brahman is what? Ekam Eva Advitiyam. Is Ekam Advitiyam. Is one alone. But Advitiyam. There is no secondness. There is nothing other than Brahman. That's what it wants to convey. Dvitiyatvam Nasti. Means you cannot count other than Brahman. Yeah, I am able to count. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. I am able to count on my table itself. There are 1,000 things. Why you are saying like that? It says that Vedantic mathematics is only this. 1 plus 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 1 is equal to 1. That's all. That is arithmetic. This is Vedantic arithmetic. Pujya Swamiji's words, not my words. Pujya Swamiji's arithmetic is this. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is equal to 1. Swamiji, you have not gone even to the primary school or no problem. Everything is ultimately Advitiyam. You may count 1,000 forms, but every form is Brahman. Every form is Brahman. You may count 1,000 parts, no problem. But the very existence and the revelation of parts, all the parts is the clay. 1. So every part is clay. You may count 1,000, but I count only 1. That's how it is. Form is Brahman. And every form is Brahman. And therefore you may count 1,000 forms, not knowing the reality and of the form, not knowing the essence of the form, not knowing the Atma of the form. Therefore you may count 1,000, but I know one thing. That one thing alone appeared in all the forms. One rope appears in all the various forms. What are the forms? Snake, garland, a streak of water, a piece of cable. All the forms are nothing but the rope. All snake is rope, streak of water is rope, garland is rope, right? And what is that? Crack in the earth is rope. Everything is rope. The person who doesn't know the reality of the snake, he may consider differently. Well, and therefore one who knows the rope, the reality, he will not see many. He will see only one. Anyway, so this is how it is. So this is, so Advitiyatvam, Ekameva Advitiyam. So Brahmana now has to be understood as a Advitiyam, without a second. And when Ekameva Advitiyam comes, you have to always go to these 3 types of Veda. 3 types of differences are there in the creation. Advitiyatvam will, let's see that. You know that Ekameva Advitiyam means it is free from the Sajatiya, Vijatiya, Svagata Veda. It doesn't have, Brahman does not have any Sajatiya Veda. Sajatiya Veda means what? Samana Jatihi, Sajati. And Vijatiya means Visamana Jati. So let's see that. So a second thing, whenever any second thing comes, see here, now this is one thing, right? Any second thing comes, so either the difference will be in terms of same species, either they belong to the same species, the Veda will be, that differences will be in terms of Sajatiya Veda, Vijatiya Veda or Svagata Veda. We'll have to understand this. Now, Sajatiya Veda means what? Veda means a difference. What is the difference between the two? Sajatiya or Vijatiya? Oh, Swamiji, it is Sajati. Why? Samana Jati. This is also clip, this is also clip. And therefore, here the difference between the 2 clips is Sajatiya Veda. Sajatiya. Samana Jatihi Yayoho. Te Yayoho. Te Samana, te Sajatiyaha. So these 2 are Sajatiyaha. So of a same species. One mango tree and another mango tree. What's the difference? It's sajati because both belong to the same species. Jati means species. So, well, of course, a mango tree, of course, you consider as is different from other trees within its own species. So, there are many, suppose in a given orchard, there are many mango trees, and this is one of them. And therefore, this is called Sajatiya Bhedaha, a limitation which within one's own species. Then there is a Vijatiya Bheda, the difference between this and this, right? Right? This is also difference. Difference here, basically what is the difference means what? Something. Difference means each one limits the other. That's all. Each one limits the other. Mobile limits the clip and clip limits the mobile. That's how it is. Whenever you talk about Bheda, automatically each thing is limited. It is already, it is understood. Anyway, so Vijatiya Bhedaha. Vijatiya, I have already told you, Vishamana Jati. Vishamana Jati means the species are different. So a mango tree, of course, and a cliff, or a mango tree and something else, rock, mango tree and a river, Vishamana Jati. So they belong to different species. So basically the difference between a river and a mango tree is a Vijatiya Bheda. And of course, this jati is it's a headache, I tell you, because the very tree itself is a jati. It's a jati. The tree itself is a jati. Vrikshatvam. Now, tree itself is different from the rock or river, right? Now, within tree also you can tell the Vijatiya, really, because a mango tree is not a coconut tree. And therefore, when you just count about a mango trees, then I have to tell, well, the difference between a mango tree and coconut tree is a Vijatiya Bhedaha. Could you follow what I am saying? Now, in a mango tree also there are differences. Really, in mango tree also Vijati is there. There are mango trees which are, dwarf. They in Gujarat they call it as Kalmi Amba. Amba means a mango tree. So, Kalmi, very small. Really, in Kutch and all, then they grow mangoes, a particular variety called Kesar, very beautiful variety. And it is just 5 feet. You can plug mangoes. And don't think 5 feet means only 2-3 mangoes must be coming in. No. It's all fully loaded with mangoes in the summer. It's fully flowered and then, the fruits also appear. So, very, very small. And you must have seen other mango trees which are very tall, right? So, this is one particular variety. That's another variety. So, I can say a dwarf mango tree and a big mango tree or a long mango tree. A Vijatiya Bheda. I can go on and on. Really. I can go on and on and on. And therefore, anyway. But Jati means, species means you should understand, when there are, in a given species, there are many members, then what is common in all the members is Jati. What is common in all? Like, we all are human beings, right? What is common in all is Jati. What is common? Humanness. Humanness is common. So many members. And therefore, the Jati, etc., we will have to understand properly. And you can count Vijati, Sajati anyway. But let's talk about in general that a coconut tree and a mango tree. Well, we can say here, let's take it as if you take Vrikshatvam as a Jati, Vriksha as a Jati, and rock means or a dog means another Jati, then of course coconut tree and a mango tree both belong to the same species. Now you just take mango tree as a Jati, then definitely within mango tree, the dwarf mango tree and the big mango tree, well, they are of different species. So this is how we have to understand, right? And this is way, of course, you can go on, but there are varieties and varieties in this. So anyway, so Sajati means a difference between the two things in terms, they belong to the same species, but still definitely there is a difference. And therefore Sajati. And the difference between this and this is Vijati. Right? This belongs to another species, this belongs to another species, and therefore this is a Vijati. And Swagata Bheda. Third, Sajati, Vijati and Swagata. What is Swagata? Well, definitely within one thing alone, so many differences. Like one body. But head is different, neck is different, hand is different, legs are different, eyes are different, right? So within a given thing, well, different limbs are there. So they are called Swagata Bheda. Gatam means praptam. Swasmin gatam. Swasmin praptam bhedah. Praptaha bhedah. Swagata bhedah. Within one thing, swasmin, within one given thing, of course, within this body itself, there are so many differences in terms of limbs. Varieties of the limbs are there. And so they are different from each other. So that is called Swagata bheda. And so the differences within a given species, Swagata bheda, and Vijatiya bheda, limitation caused by things of different species, and Sajatiya bheda, a limitation caused by things of a same species. So these three Vedas are there. Brahman is free from all the three. Brahman is free. Brahman does not have any kind of a Veda, any kind of a limitation. Why? Because basically Brahman has no jati at all. There are not more than one Brahman. There are not more than one self. By which you, because to determine the jati itself, you require more than one member. That's what I have already told you. You require many members. Out of that, what is common is the jati. So, definitely, Brahman is one alone, and therefore there is no question of a Sajati. There is no similar other Brahman. So, there is no Sajati Veda. And then there is, there is nothing other than Brahman, of course. And by which you can say there is a Vijatiya Veda. Right? And therefore, within itself, we don't have any Veda because Brahman is limitless and Brahman is free from all the limbs, and therefore Brahman has no Swagata Veda also. And therefore Brahman is called free from Sajatiya, Vijatiya, Swagata Veda, and therefore Brahman is Ekam Advitiyam. Advitiyam means you cannot count second. To count second, there should be a difference in terms of Sajatiya, Vijatiya or Swagata Veda should be there. Sajati should be there. There should be other Brahman. Then, we can say na Advitiyam, but we should tell Sadvitiyam and etc. If there is another thing, then we have to decide what is the species. If it is same Brahman, another Brahman, then Sajatiya Veda between two Brahman. If other than Brahman something is there, other than Brahman means the creation, etc., then it is Vijatiya Veda. And if within Brahman, one Brahman alone, there are some differences in terms of limbs, then it is Swagata Veda. No, nothing Veda. But no, but Swamiji, Atma, Anatma, two things are there. Kya baat karte hain? Every Anatma is Atma. Every form is a Brahman, I have already told you. And therefore, still, if you want clarification, I will clarify tomorrow. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.